Send yours.
Is it singular? Yeah. 10-second tour. Hashtag 10-second tour. It'll say it down there. I can feel it. It was down there. It said, don't listen to him. Read me. Don't listen to him. Welcome to Good Mythical More. I want to mention the book again, but first, like I said, I have encountered something in a semi-public restroom.
Semi-public?
I have pictures, and it was an interesting experience. You don't go into restrooms much at my age and encounter things totally new that you don't know how to use.
Seen it all.
I've seen it all when it comes to restrooms, especially after that whole bidet thing in Hawaii.
Yeah.
I didn't see it as much as you did, experience as much as you did.
I didn't really see it that much.
But since you're so into that,
I felt it.
I wanted to share this thing with you because I think you're going to be into it.
Okay.
But first, a few more words about the Book of Mythicality. Super excited. You know, we wanted to make a special announcement.
And we made
video,
it, and it was special.
Which we did, you know, we wanted to put...
It was very special. It's a special long table with a lot of knickknacks on it.
Yeah,
a lot of people have asked...
There's some clues in there,
Is that really how you guys wrote the book?
Yes,
of course it is.
Absolutely.
It was on a typewriter, one thing at a time, in a darkly lit room.
So,
on a table with a lot of knickknacks.
We've seen the comments, people picking apart different clues and whatnot, and that's good. You're onto something. And like I said, we'll be giving out more information over time. There's a placeholder in where the book cover is going to go. It's not the official book cover. When you go to pre-order it, you can see it's just
It'll be better than that. I was wearing this jacket on the fake book cover.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, this is my fake book cover jacket.
And we wrote a note in the description that just said, hey, this has been a labor of love. We are truly excited about it. And we've been working on it since last April. Because I looked back in our calendar to see when our first meetings where we were talking about it and figuring out what chapters will be about and how we wanted to go about the book and starting to give it some shape.
Well, it's funny, interesting, because I feel like we've gotten to this place where, like with Buddy System and now with the Book of Mythicality, where we've been working on things that we work on them for a long time before we can tell you about them.
Yeah.
People are always like, what do they do? They have a 10-minute show once a day. What else do they do all the time? Well, we do a lot of things that we can't tell you about until we can tell you about them. And this one was one that it started as a small idea. Like, we should do something. We should do a book. It is the thing to do, right? YouTubers are doing books. Yeah, we got to get on that game. But once we got into it, we're like, oh, this is turning into way more. This is turning into the book we thought we would write 5-10 years from now.
When no one cared.
Exactly. We didn't think we would do something that was so based on our stories and was such an autobiography and memoir approach. And that's just what it became, because in order to talk about the different aspects of mythicality in our lives, we had to talk about the stories and the experiences that contributed to that. So that's what the book became, and it's taken a lot more time than we ever thought. But we think it'll be worth it.
Yeah, Book of Mythicality. I cannot say it.
You got to get the mythicality. You got to get that right.
I can't say the word that's the title of the book. Bookofmythicality.com. There's a note down there at the bottom that says, be among the first to receive book updates by subscribing to the Mythical Monthly newsletter. So be sure to do that. We'll be leaking some info,
That's a
some
good segue,
intel.
Good segue into talking about the bathroom.
So I went to the place where I get my hair cut. And I always...
Is that a salon? How would you categorize that?
I think it is a salon, though I don't prefer to use that word.
Beauty shop, then.
Beauty shop. And when I go in there, I always make a beeline for the restroom, which is in the back, because I don't want to be in that chair having to micturate.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I don't want to pee myself. Right. So I use the restroom, but it's just a closet with a toilet in it, and then you come out, and then there's a sink out there. But they remodeled, and then I went in there, and something was different. And as it turns out, they were adding more capacity, and then for code reasons, they needed to add another sink. That's the backstory, but I didn't know this. I just went in there, and it's the same toilet, but then on the back of the part of the toilet, the tank of the toilet is a sink.
Let me see a picture of this.
So I peed first, and then I took a picture. I'm sorry, there's urine in the toilet. So
and they've addressed it in the sign above it that says, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah, there's a sign up there. So the sign says, "What the hell is this?" It's a sink on a toilet. Have any of you guys ever seen this? But what do? Flush the toilet. Duh. Then what? Wash your hands with the fresh water. Ooh, I get it. At that point, I actually didn't get it. I was still like, what?
You thought it was toilet water?
I just didn't know. I mean, it's on a toilet. It's water coming out of the top of a toilet. That water drains into the tank. Then that gray water, it wasn't, I've never washed my hands except when the water's turned gray.
It's a
genius,
It's a euphemism for that. That just means water that has been used to wash. That's what gray water is. Versus brown water, which is
that you pooped in.
Yeah.
So gray water, you should never drink it, but you can flush with it.
And you can water plants with it and stuff.
Then that gray water is used to flush the toilet next time. So at that point I realized, whoa. I just peed into water that someone washed their hands with. Am I okay with that? It's weird how I ask myself these moral questions. It's like, is this right? And I'll tell you the weirdest, it says, it saves water and is a great conversation starter. Such as, what the hell is this?
It totally makes sense, though.
But the thing is, you don't want to straddle a toilet in order to wash your hands. That's what feels weird. I'm peeing.
You don't need to demonstrate, really.
Then I'm like this. I'm like this. You know, you don't want to be like squatting over a toilet washing your hands. It feels a little
now,
weird.
Eddie's bringing up pictures of
tastefully designed
urinals that do the same thing. And this, let me just go ahead and tell you, I'm going to be really honest with you right now. That I'm a tall man, and I have accidentally peed on top of a urinal.
Which would have been into a sink.
I would say that I hit the top of the urinal 1 out of 50 times. Because sometimes the urinals are so low. I mean, like if it's like designed, if you get the kids one, sometimes you go to the movie theater and there's the one on the end that's for the kids and you're like, well, it's open for me. You gotta have some great aim from my height to actually get into the mouth. Is that what they call it? The mouth of the urinal?
Yeah, it's a mouth.
And the top, sometimes you go whoop, 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 you know, but if it was a sink,
but here's the great
you would
thing.
just go right into the sink, the gray water sink.
The great thing is,
I've also peed into a sink before in a moment of desperation.
Well, I think what you could be doing is you could be washing your hands while peeing on them at the same time. That's your danger. You don't want that.
Well, I actually think first of all, this whole gray water thing is, especially in California.
It's so cool.
We're gonna, this is what needs to happen. I mean, first of all.
Gray water is the new black water.
Gray water is what you should be watering your plants with. The fact that we're using potable water to water plants. Plants don't care if it's got a little something in it, a little pee or something. But gray water doesn't, of course. It's just stuff it's like from your dishwasher or your washing machine or your sink or whatever. So this totally makes sense. But here's also the efficiency of washing your hands. If you do have good aim, if you're not super tall like me, I do like the idea of washing the hands and peeing at the same time because it's half as fast.
Well, but that's not how it works. So just to clarify.
Twice as fast.
You pee or poop, by the way.
I'm flexible. I can poop and wash my hands. I look like a fugitive.
You cannot wash your hands until you flush because the flushing is what activates the water. And here's what happened. So, I was peeing.
It's idiot proof.
I was peeing. Well, no, that's just how I was peeing, and I was reading the sign, which means the chances of me missing were greatly increased. But so that's one problem. But then you're done, and you're like, okay. I was like, how do I start the water? There's no faucet. And then I was like, and I flushed the toilet.
And it started going?
There was no water. And then it flushed, and then all of a sudden, at the point where the tank would fill back up, it comes out like a water fountain. And so
because it's just going through that to fill the tank back up.
Exactly. So it's where it would normally fill up the tank, it's a fountain first. And so there's a delay between flushing, then you got time to
rearrange,
zip up yourself and get ready. But I was clamoring because I didn't want the water to run out. I didn't want to have to flush twice.
Well, you could have stopped. Oh yeah,
you can't.
You want to finish up. You want to get fully buttoned or flied up or whatever.
But I'd already flushed. But it actually worked out perfectly. You flush, and then it starts to flush, there's a delay, and that's the amount of time, the perfect amount of time to zip and button and all of that jazz.
I mean,
and
how
then the
many
water
seconds are we
starts coming
talking
out.
about? 10 seconds?
1,000, 2, 1,000, 3.5, 1,000.
I'm not gonna wear a button fly to that bathroom.
Nope. You just go with the top button. Sometimes I do that.
Yeah.
Just leave the middle ones just gaping. But it felt weird for the first time. But it felt great to be doing something for the first time again at my age. I highly recommend it, and I think we're gonna get them here, guys!
We definitely need these.
No more sinks.
Yeah, sinks suck!
You're gonna be straddling toilets every time you wash your hands from now on. You've asked for it. Merry early Christmas. It's happening. Shh, that's it. Thanks for sticking around for Good Mythical More.
If you want to watch more, well, we don't have Good Mythical more, but we do have a lot more videos.
Here's 2 of them.
Also, click the circular channel icon to subscribe.